Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Real Labs on Real Radio 104.1. I am your host for the evening, filling in for my boy James Yon. This is Miguel Colon Jr., 2016 Monsters of the Morning Comedian of the Year. Joined in studio with my good friend, Mr. Mike Hurley. He, the head writer from The Lowdown with James Yon on Afrotainment or Afro now. What?
Right now, it's nothing. Right now, it's nothing. I'll know more at the end of the month. I'll get back to you.
We're also joined in studio with our good friend from the Poke and the Bear podcast, Mr. Charlie Bowie.
Hello.
And the godfather of Orlando comedy himself, Mr. Ken Miller.
Yo, you see the puppy, right? You see the puppy in the back?
We were wondering what that was.
Me and my daughter did a puzzle, bro.
We were saying it looked like the Andy Dufresne poster from Shawshank.
Like you throw the rock to out of escape.
Like Ken's been trying to tunnel. Like if you open it up, there's like 19 bottles of Crown Apple behind there. It's like, no, baby, I quit drinking.
My daughters woke me up at 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, Dad, you want to do a poster? I mean, a puzzle. I was like, okay, but it's like 1 a.m. Like, yeah, we can't sleep. I was like, okay, so that's the puzzle we did.
Nah, man, you're right. You're right. Posters are like just puzzles that require assembly.
And I didn't know. If you put tape on them, you can hold it. I didn't know that. So my wife was like, you put tape on the back and the front, and you can make it like a poster. So that's why I keep saying poster. So we tape
why not just buy the poster? It seems like a lot of extra work.
Hey, hold up. Because my kids are 25% white, and they like doing white stuff.
To me, I would have thought that was like a safety word you guys came up with for intruders. Hey, Dad, want to do a poster? They're in the house.
And speaking of white stuff, we got a special guest with us today.
That's right. From the Orlando City Comedy, Mr. Scott Orbandy.
How are you guys?
What's up, brother?
Good, man. Good.
Last episode, you had a lot of shots fired at Mr. Ken Miller. Now you're virtually sitting next to him. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, what you got to say, Playboy?
Well, here's the thing. I'm sure there's a lot of media reports out there right now. But here, most people know, they'll look at this gentleman to my left here and they'll say, "Oh, aren't you Scott Orbandy? I mean, you look like him, but the comedy level that you deliver day in and day out. I mean, that's what we're looking at the most." And I think, yeah.
Now that he's here.
I gotta tell you about Orbandy. So Orbandy wants to be my feature. And I told him I don't take white features with me unless it's Hurley. And,
Ken, how are you the most racist out of all of us all the time?
Hold up. Hey, man, black people can't be racist. Prejudice, though. I'm prejudiced. It's different.
You're not racist, but you prejudiced AF.
Straight prejudice. Yeah. I was like, first of all, Mike Hurley, I love taking Mike because Mike's energy in front of me is amazing. I love following Mike.
Thanks,
I don't sell no merch. If I'm with Mike, I'm never gonna sell merch.
No one does.
I can't take Bowie because Bowie want to fight after the show. Bowie's a fighter. He's from Baltimore.
What?
No, you're a Ravens fan. All Baltimore Ravens fans fight people. And I can't take Orbandy because
I'm a straight up pacifist.
And I can't take Orbandy because Orbandy look like the dude from Thinner.
I will say this now, Scott. Why you're not doing videos every day as former Governor Rick Scott addressing the people during the pandemic and blaming unemployment all on DeSantis? Seriously, you need to start putting these things out.
No, I agree with Mike. You really should do something like that, bro, and just throw it out there. Like, this is the best time for social media for comedians to be at home. You could be doing some straight up.
And for Scott Orbandy.
A microphone.
So why haven't you, Scott? Answer his question.
Well, it's Judge Judy. So here's the thing. I'm actually in production doing some videos about, like we talked about in the last segment or yesterday's show with the car buying stuff.
Oh, nice.
So on how to screw over the dealer, right? The inside tricks, the tips, and how that people can not get taken advantage of. So that's what I got going on right now. So the Governor Scott stuff, I just, it didn't. You're
dropping the ball, man. You dropping.
Yeah, no, you could totally do it, bro. Right? I mean, even if you only get 200-300 views, it's still something you should put out there. Like because you have the look. And you got 4 comedians on the show that can throw you material. You could put something together, bro. You could totally do that.
Sure.
and, probably, and blow up at least in Florida.
Right.
Let me ask this question, all of you guys. I think all of us here have struggled sometimes to create the online content that really took off. But have you guys ever made one that you're like, this is the one, and you're all excited, and you put it out there, and like 3 weeks later, you got 106 views, and you're like, you're almost ashamed now because
I feel triggered. I feel like you went to my YouTube channel and looked at all my videos and said, not one of these is over 102 views. I'm bringing this up tonight. Yeah, man.
I did a video with this good friend of mine's, Instagram comic named Charlie Classic. We've done like 9 videos together. Every video we do together, we get like 600,000 views. These are because of him. Nobody's on it because of me. Now, I don't get 600,000. Charlie Classic will get 600,000 views. We had one video called Fat Cop versus Fat Criminal that did 1.5 million views. And I'm like, oh, this is it. This is it. Tag me, Charlie. He tags me. I get like 30 followers from it. And then they're all in the comments, they're like, Charlie Classic, you struck gold again. I'm like, bruh, I helped him write it. I was there.
True story, man. After I won the Steve Harvey thing, I'm like, yo, I'm about to get like mad followers. I got like 120. Like, and he got like 1 million followers, bro. I'm like, yo, I'm about to blow. But I'm with you, dude. When I do the Kim Miller rants, like they do like 500 to 700 views on Instagram and Facebook. On YouTube, maybe 20 views to the point where people are still commenting on the Publix video. And one guy was like, wow, look at you. You only did 100 views and 2 comments. You trolling. I'm like, yo, I really hate public subs. Like this dude thought I was just trolling to be trolling. And he called me a bitch. Like he was like, I was like,
why so negative? Like
because people really love public subs for some reason. Like they really love these subs.
Because they're amazing.
Yeah, no, because they're
shut up, Bowie.
Look, we've gone over this, and I'm not going to make this show about this again because I've done this on the show numerous times. But if you think a public sub's amazing, it's because you've never had an amazing sub. It's a good sub that will always be good. Man.
Bowie, what's your favorite sub?
I get a chicken tender sub with
No, not at Publix. What's your favorite sub from any place? What's your favorite?
Publix chicken tender sub.
What? You never been to Las Spadas?
Oh my God, Las Spadas. Every day. Boom. Ken knows.
Hold on. Wait, he made a face. Bowie.
On Lee Road?
What? This is a radio thing. No one can see our faces right now.
Okay, no, we put this on YouTube, bro.
Okay.
But they heard it.
Tell us your story. What's your Las Spadas story? Because you made a face when I said Las Spadas.
I have no idea what Las Spadas is. That was
Las Spadas on Lee Road? It's the best sub in town.
No,
Hurley, talk to him. Talk to him, Hurley.
The only sub place I've been on Lee Road is Rhino's.
Rhino's is oh my God, outside.
Like Rhino's. They got a great chicken farm though. Rhino's does.
Yeah. You've
never had Las Spadas?
Is it by the place that used to be a strip club that looks like 2 boobies?
Right, you passed that. It's in the shopping center with the Walmart market and McDonald's. Yeah, it's open at 10 o'clock in the morning because that's what you know it's a a sub place.
I gotta go.
Okay. It's the absolute best.
The best Philly cheesesteak, and the best Italian.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sort of an aside because of the panini. A Cuban sandwich is my favorite go-to large sandwich.
Okay.
So. And oddly,
Rhino's has got a good Cuban too.
There's a car dealership down near Cimarron that has a ridiculous. It is absolutely absurd how good this.
Scott, can you negotiate the price of that Cuban sandwich for Charlie?
Give me 2 for 1. Give me 2 for 1.
Hey Scott, back when you still ate solid foods, where were you eating, man?
Well. Now that I've been fitted for my dentures, I can get back to corn on the cob. So I'm excited.
You look like a guy that hasn't had a carb in a while. That's why I'm asking. You look pretty healthy.
Look good. He always look like he's in great shape.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna look at just this thumbnail and be like, "Damn, they got Lord Voldemort on the show."
Hey, there you go. There's more videos for you, Scott.
Yeah.
They're like, why did they tag him?
Who's doing the time on this show?
I got this one. I'm going right now. We're good.
Oh man,
he's Skeletor before he lost his skin.
True story. When I featured for Ross Padgett,
Oh, now you're just bragging. We don't accept that.
I'm name dropping.
Yeah, we don't talk about other people on other radio shows.
Yeah.
I'm a nickname, bro.
This guy that kind of looked like me, but when he came on stage, it was real funny. When he came up, he said, "Hey, give it up." He looked at me on the side and he said, "Hey, give it up for Cancer Me."
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Lord. Wow.
Oh man, that's horrible. That's not funny at all.
That was super rude. Bowie, what hat you got on, bro?
Oh, that is the Tampa Tarpons. It's the Yankees AAA ball.
Yo, you see the Patriots signed Cam Newton?
Yes, it did.
You done, Ken?
I'm a Patriots fan now. I've
Patriots fan.
been a Patriots fan, baby. Come on.
Don't do it. Stay with your.
Nah,
cats,
you're not.
man.
Wait a minute. Let me
Pants.
get this straight. Patriots signed Cam Newton,
Correct.
Yep.
and Tampa signed Brady.
Yeah. Ages ago. Yes.
Yeah, and the Panthers left the league.
Yeah. The Panthers playing in the WNBA right now.
Hell of a run,
Hey,
boys.
Mike, hold on. Mike, bleep that out. Bleep that out.
No.
The Panthers are now playing college football.
I wouldn't be shocked. The thing about the Patriots is you can throw anybody in their system and they're going to be good. I wouldn't be shocked if the Patriots win the AFC.
You can throw anybody in there; they'll be good with Brady as quarterback. But
first of all, you shut your ass up, Cleveland Browns fan.
Baby, go Browns.
Hey, I'll give you credit, man. Because Scott's a Cleveland Browns fan. I'm a Jets fan. That's a real fan of football. Because there's no chance you're gonna watch him win.
He is. He's a real fan.
Yeah,
he's a real fan.
Jets fan have had a rebuilding year for the past 15 years.
Yeah, we're like the South. We keep being like, we're gonna rise again one day.
They should retire the Jets jersey the same way. It's like, dude, you
bro,
lost.
the thing I love about Albany, though, me and Albany bets every year about Cleveland Browns or the Cavaliers, and when they lose, he pay up.
$50.
But he'll send me a card. He'll send me a card with a penis pic in it. $50.
Good for you. Good for you. I always when I have to write, I'll write people checks when they win bets for me, and I'll put in there, man. Be like for the heart. They'll be like, oh, in the liner notes of the check. Man, I'll put there. I'll be like sodomy. Really good sodomy, yeah. Or for the free Jeffrey Epstein campaign, you know. I want to see his body.
I didn't know that. Now I know. I need to do it. Me and Albany every year we do Army versus Navy football.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Navy. That's right, man.
Go Navy.
Army versus Navy football.
Go Navy.
Go Army. Go Navy. Army.
Navy.
That's the funniest thing, man. Like Army versus Navy football, it gets one game that matters. And then it goes back to not mattering.
Yeah, we don't care. Each team cannot have one win all season.
Yeah.
If we beat Navy, we're happy. Or if they beat Army, we're happy. It's like Duke Carolina. If Carolina beats Duke and we didn't win any game all season, we beat Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm that way with Army Navy. So the rest of the season, because all my Navy friends aren't like that. They don't care about it the way me and you care about it.
Well, we're passionate. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna be coming up to a commercial in just a moment, but I want you guys to think about something. One of the things we want to talk about in the next segment is all of us here live in Florida. We were just talking about cars. We're just talking about the heat. I think everybody here has had a no AC car situation. And I want to know if you guys came up with any like ghetto beat the heat, do it yourself systems. I came up with an AC system that almost killed me when I was driving a truck, and I will bring that up when we come back from break, man. I'll let you guys know about that. Remember, everybody, you're listening to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. Welcome back, everybody, to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. I am your host this week, Miguel Colon Jr. James Yon stepped out. We have in studio with us today, Mr. Charlie Bowie.
Yep.
Mr. Mike Hurley.
Yep.
Ken Miller. And Scott Orbany.
Go Navy.
All right. And before we went to break, we were talking about something that's recently popped up that we need to discuss. The president put a tweet out from the Villages of all places, retweeting sort of a video from the Villages. And of course, it's the Villages, so it's got like the golf cart mafia rolling through there. And at the end of this tweet, there's definitely an exchange between protesters and supporters of the Trump administration. But at the end of this tweet, one of the guys in the golf cart, the old guy who's featured through the whole video, starts chanting and like mocking the protesters and stuff, starts chanting white power, white power. And this makes the cut. and the president airs this, and then later he catches some backlash, and people are like, "Oh, you got to take that down," so he takes it down. One of my least favorite and favorite moments of all this is we were discussing this in the break, and I said, Mike, I want to talk about this segment about the racist tweet that came from the president. And Mike goes, "Oh, didn't we do that last week?" And Charlie had to be like, no, new racist tweet from the president.
Yo, which is so crazy because I've done the villages like 100 times, so they're super nice people. Like I bomb every time I'm there. I'm always bomb. I bomb in the village all the time. But they should be the ones that's more worried about COVID.
Yeah.
Because that's like their demographic.
How often when you're doing the villages do they grab you by the arm and go, "Can we get another pitcher of water over here?"
Yeah. I like how Ken's like, they should be worried about COVID. The villages aren't even worried about STDs.
Yeah,
like,
right.
They definitely just rolling the dice and riding that one out.
Yo, Mike, true story. So I get a call to do villages. I was doing Ocala when it was Midnight Rodeo. Remember, it was Midnight Rodeo.
That was a good time, man. Club Zanzibar.
So I got
Midnight
a call.
Rodeo.
Yeah. Which I destroyed that whole weekend. Had a great time, and Bonkers called me. I said, "Okay, I'll come do it." I show up, and I'm covering for Dean Napolitano.
Because you guys are interchangeable, like you and Scott Orban.
He was also filming.
They're looking at Ken. They're like, "What is he, Sicilian?"
Yeah, he was Transformers 2.
Transformers 2.
He was the hand on Shia LaBeouf's knee in the limo.
Got his SAG insurance.
It's true. That's what made it into the film. Dean was like an FBI agent. He was in the back of the limo with Shia LaBeouf or the back of the car. And I remember the filming was held up for like 3 hours. He had to sit there where Shia was like complaining. And then all that made it into the film was like Dean's right hand, like holding back Shia LaBeouf.
I'd like to believe that Shia was such an artist too. That like, we're gonna cut it. He's like, leave the hand.
Leave it. I like this Dean Napolitano kid.
So I'm sorry, Ken. You're in the villages.
So I show up, nothing but Dean posters everywhere. Like they're expecting a 6'6" Italian guy, but a 6'4" black guy shows up. I bomb for 45 minutes. I'm bombing, and you know the Godfather's there, so he's doing everybody else's material.
Yeah.
I closed my set with, "If you want to buy my DVD, they got laughter on it." I just left. I got my food and left. I'm driving home. Mark was like, "What happened?" I said, "Yo, they didn't take none of Dean's. Y'all didn't take Dean's stuff. Then they thought Dean was gonna be there." She was like, "Oh,
I didn't know Vic Damone Jr. was showing up." You know,
Vic Damone Jr. So she paid me an extra $100 for bombing.
Oh man, Scott, you see that, bro? You could have been getting paid.
They owe me a lot. They owe me some back money.
So after that, I said I never do the villages again.
But how does this? I mean, I'm not trying to throw this rhetorical. How does this sit with you guys? But we all know the villages. This is a town of old people. This is supposed to be grandpa and grandma's town. And when you see this tweet and you watch this guy at the end, and whether or not, look, I'm not going to get into whether or not he was just saying it to rile up the protesters. He said it. You know what I'm saying? He said it. And this makes the president's edit. This makes the cut where the president's like, "That's the tweet I want to roll."
Which the thing is, so from what I heard is Trump does all his own tweets. Right. Did he really see that tweet and was like, "This it?
This is the fire.
Like,
this is the one. This is what we got to put out."
Hold my beer. Here we go.
I'm asking Orban. Orban, ain't you a Republican?
I am.
So is this what your boy did?
Well, he's not my boy.
Hold up. Did you kick him out? No,
Orban, he just dipped out. He was like,
No, Mike kicked him out.
Go.
All right. That's what timeout feels like, Scott. That's what timeout feels like. Just wanted to let you know.
Orban, he texts us, "Sorry guys, I'm driving through a tunnel." You know,
he said, "I'm a Trump supporter," and Mike kicked him out. I'm done. I'm done, bro.
I said,
I didn't kick him out. I put him in the green room where he can see what's going on, but doesn't have a say. You know who else feels like that in this country, Scott?
Black people. Man. Go ahead, Albany.
I was in racial timeout.
That killed me, bro.
No, you said what's going on with your boy? He's not my boy. This guy. There are Republicans out there that are not Trump supporters, and this is just nothing should surprise you at this point. I mean, nothing. I mean, you got all kinds of crazy stuff out there, and I mean, like every day you spin the wheel and see where it lands for Trump. So.
Charlie, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Charlie, you're a pacifist. You're probably one of the nicest guys. You're very
nicest guy. No,
you're socially liberal on so many things. But how many times do people just assume you're racist because you sound like a dude who should be wearing a seersucker suit?
Hold on. Time out. Bowie, before you answer in your William Bowie voice.
Yes, I need William Bowie.
Well, honestly, all the time. Pretty much anywhere I go, people assume just by my posturing and diction that I must be a Republican. Yes, we're all holding on animals. Yes, but
I have nothing. I have a pitcher of water. Pretend a fish is in there.
Yo, Hurley, this is the show. This is it.
At least I know what the thumbnail for this episode is.
Yeah. If you guys are listening on air right now, everybody's holding some cute animal or puppet. I didn't get the memo.
And Miguel ain't got a damn thing in his house, bro.
Man. Here's my solo cup.
Miguel holding the air conditioner filter right now, y'all.
It's not even the right size one, but it works.
You had to cut it to make it fit.
So,
go ahead, Bowie. Sorry, Bowie. Go ahead.
So, in Scott's defense, he may be a Republican, but not a Trump supporter, and there are a lot of them now that are going that way. Simply because there's plenty of Republicans that are like, I don't get down with that. Like, I'm confused how this guy is our representative. Yeah. And honestly, I think the Republican Party is kind of confused as to how he managed to do it. I mean,
but Bowie, they said it on TV. Are they going to vote for him behind the scenes, though? You can do whatever you want on air.
No, I think that
I will text you a picture of my ballot.
I'm just like, how do we get Biden and Trump? Like, this is it? This is it? Yo, this is all we got?
Well,
hold up. Albany, if you do a write-in vote for Ken Miller, I'll send you $50.
Okay.
That's how much your vote's worth.
Yeah. I think we need to take a couple years off of world lead, just see a bunch of different world leaders, figure it all out on our own. Yeah.
Now, I will say this. I never got really interested in politics until probably the last, 4 to 7 years. And Charlie Bowie, just coincidentally, has been my go-to guy because this guy is kind of just well-versed. And I was walking to the voting poll during the Hillary-Trump election. And I said, you know what? I don't like either of them. I might just vote for Trump because I hate Hillary so much. I know he's not going to win, but that kind of makes me free and in the clear. And Charlie actually said, don't you dare. I'm like, what? You got to remember, this is voting day. Hillary was still way ahead in the polls. Yeah. And he's like, Mike, their polls mean nothing. There's a whole section of America who's going to say one thing to public and behind closed doors.
Absolutely.
And I didn't believe him because I remember doing comedy at that time. You could do a Trump joke. The whole room would laugh. Ha, he's an idiot. And after he got elected, you realize you lost half your laughs because you realize who's secretly behind your back. But Charlie, go ahead.
Hold on real quick. Mike,
unless it was
voting? How long you been voting, Mike? Did you vote for Obama?
The first time I voted for election was the first time, or for president was the first time Obama ran. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I didn't want to kill you, bro.
I voted against him, but he still won. Charlie, go ahead.
I voted in that election. I voted for John McCain, but I've switched parties. I've gone back and forth simply because I'm not party line. I'm whoever's best.
I'm with you, Bowie. I'm with you. I worked in the White House. If you guys know that, and I voted for Bush twice.
I voted for Bush.
I'm a registered Republican. I'm a registered Democrat. Sorry. I've been drinking. But I voted for Bush twice because I was in the military at the time, and Republicans tend to take care of the military
absolutely
more than anybody else.
They very much so.
But as soon as Bush got out of office, I was like, Black Power, baby. I'll vote for Obama right now if he ran again. I don't give a damn. I'll vote for Michelle Obama.
I voted for Obama both times, and I voted for Hillary in the last one. Yeah,
I did too.
I'll tell you this, man. More and more, I start looking at other candidates. Like who was the Gary Johnson like a couple years ago, and I'm like, I mean, like, where would we be with Gary Johnson? Probably, I don't know where the country would be. I know we wouldn't be discussing racist tweets, though.
Well,
I don't like the name Gary, so I don't like Gary.
Understandable.
Mickey. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't vote like Gary Johnson.
The current libertarian is Joe Jorgensen, and she is available to be voted for.
I don't vote for Vikings.
So, who do you guys think is going to be his vice president?
Yeah,
not Haggard, the horrible, not the Minnesota Vikings. No Vikings.
No Vikings. Yo, Biden's VP gonna be Val Demings, bro.
That'd be pretty cool.
I vote for. I like Val.
Biden. If Biden wins the election, he's gonna look at Val and he's gonna still think he's vice president. He's just gonna be like, "What, Val? This is gonna be great. You're gonna do a great job." You're like, "You president? Who, me?"
Yeah. Val, can I call you Barry?
Yeah.
Yo, what we at on time? Okay, there we go.
Hey, we good, man. We good. Go a little.
When James, when the substitute teacher's here, we do whatever we want.
Yeah. I've carried people out of the studio,
Bruh, no comment. No comment, B. I'm gonna hold my teddy bear up again.
Me too.
I tell you this though. Do you think? Let me ask this real question. We got like a minute left before we go to break. Before we go to break, though, real quick, get from everybody. The mudslinging hasn't really started. Everybody's waiting. No. How bad do you think it's going to get, Mike? How bad do you think it's going to get?
On Trump's side, I think it's going to get ridiculous. But the thing is, you can't put anything on Biden that you haven't done 100 times worse. Like every time they go at Biden for one of his public speaking gaffes, I'm like, have you listened to your guy?
I think watching this, man, is one of those moments where I realize how like the Republic came to be in Star Wars. I was like, oh, I used to be like, that would never have happened. Now I'm like, yeah, I get it.
We're watching it.
Oh, hey guys, we're gonna go to break. When we come back, we're gonna get to the air conditioning story. I want to hear everybody's worst horror heat stories here in Florida, and then Scott, I definitely want you to chime us in a little bit more about how people can find out about OCC. All right, guys,
sure.
You're listening to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104. Hey guys, welcome back to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. I am your host, Miguel Colon Jr. I'm in studio with Mike Hurley, Charlie Bowie, Scott Orbandy, and the godfather of Orlando comedy, Ken Miller. And guys, earlier I was discussing like it's getting so hot. The summers in Florida, every year we talk about it's hotter than the last. It's hotter. And there's all types of ways to beat the heat. But some of us, like there was times I think all of us here have probably, maybe not Scott because he's in the luxury car business, but at least most of us here have been in a time where we had maybe a vehicle that didn't have AC or having AC problems. I used to actually drive a truck for Aramark, and I used to do the delivery of like those napkins and linens, and those box trucks don't have AC. So I created my own like swamp cooler AC, but I didn't really like Google science enough. I filled it with dry ice. I filled it with dry ice in a big cooler, and I had a PVC pipe with a computer fan, and I was like, this is where it's at. Well, this truck is getting filled with dry ice fumes, and I'm like, this is really cold. Also, I'm so sleepy,
Yeah, I'm sure it was the dry ice fumes and not the marijuana.
Yeah, well, no, the weed had me being like, now I'm extra sleepy.
Oh yeah, you said Google Science.
Yeah,
I'm gonna type this in science. What comes up?
Yeah, I'm gonna call Bill Nye on his direct line.
Don't disrespect Bill Nye. Bill Nye, my dude.
He is a man. I was a
So
big
weed to
fan
be or
guy.
not, bro. So we good.
Mike, you were telling me about a story that you read about a group of people partying, and was it Pennsylvania or Philly that were trying to beat the heat?
Yeah, well, let me tell you, I'm keeping it cool right now with my free improv pint glass filled with water. I'm not sure how I came about this. Thank you, Chris.
Everybody's got one.
Do they know it was free?
Yeah.
I was
complimentary. They're not complimentary.
I was reading this news story that hit my feed, and I guess this happened back in 2018 up in Philly. You know how a lot of neighborhoods have like their block parties, right? Yeah. Well, this guy got his permit for his block party, and what he did, he went out and rented one of those huge dumpsters that you see whenever there's construction. They lined it with tarps, filled it with water. They ended up having this big dumpster pool party. Yeah,
it's
pretty good.
That's
being the
gross.
heat on Philly. They cleaned it out.
Gross.
They cleaned it out. They put tarps in there. Believe me, the community pool is probably dirtier than this thing, Charlie.
I was looking at the individuals in the pool.
Okay, yeah.
I'm about to say, these people swim in the Jersey Shore. This is the cleanest water they've ever been
Charlie,
in.
I did preempt the story with people in Philly, Charlie, so you knew it was coming. But anyways, so the block and the neighbors were very happy with it, but apparently the city wasn't. So they said, no, you can't do that anymore. And in fact, they passed a law banning dumpster pools because it was becoming a thing. So the guy goes back to get his permit next year. They're like, no, we're not going to give you a permit. You had that dumpster pool party. He's like, look, I promise, no dumpster pool party. You can put it in the contract. So they put it in the contract, no dumpster pool party for the permit. Him and his buddies go out the week before, steal all like the Bob's barricades. So there's probably people driving into potholes and stuff like that. brings them back to the neighborhood the night before, wraps them all up with ratchet straps, puts the tarps in. They have a blockade pool party. The city complains. He's like, no. I said no dumpsters. I never said anything about blockade. I got you. It's a technicality.
I like how the city of Philly can't get any kind of like police reform done in a year, but over one dumpster pool party, they can get a law.
Yeah, they can get that through and through. No more dumpster pools.
Bipartisan effort.
Walking it through.
Yeah,
I'll tell you though,
see
man.
that bell? You see that bell? That's because of this.
All my cars up until I was in my late 20s, early 30s had that 460 air conditioning where you roll down all four windows, go 60 miles per hour. That was all we had. Pat Garrity, who's a road comic we all know and love, he never had AC in any of his beaters. He would actually put his shirts in water, put his shirts in the freezer, put them in a Ziploc bag. And when he was driving cross country, he would reach into the cooler, pull out one of his frozen shirts, throw it down like NASCAR race drivers, you know? But right now, I got two buddies, comedians. I won't name names because I don't want anyone to know they're broke, Kevin White and James John. But they're driving around with cars without ACs right now, and I feel terrible for them. But dude, have you seen these things that came out? Like if they had these when I had a car with no seat, I would have bought them. $89, USB chargeable. It's like a personal air conditioner that automatically lowers the room to like 68.
Mike, I'm gonna tell you, it's a scam.
Have you done this?
Yeah, I just stayed at a hotel a while ago, or I stayed at a condo, and the AC in the living room didn't work. So I went out and got one of these. I was like, done.
Is that a condo? So I believe that.
And I put it right. Yeah, I put it right by the bed, by the foot of the bed. My foot got cold, but nothing else.
Why didn't you put it by the head of the bed and have your head get cold?
Because I wanted my feet. If my lower extremities, if the giblets and the feet stay cold, then the body will be right. Yeah, this thing let me down.
Let me ask you, did you do the thing where you actually pulled out, because there's a filter inside. You're supposed to pull the filter out, soak that in water for like 5 minutes.
You can put it in ice cold water. Yep. It broke my heart because I was like, this thing has saved everything. This is the key to AC problems.
I know there's a lot of knockoffs of these personal ACs out there, but I saw and read the reviews on this one. It seemed like the way to go because
this one was
a lot
99.
of times
that could be $99.
This one's called a Blaux, I believe. BLAUX block. But there's a lot of when you go to get the AC in the car, sometimes it's something easy, like, oh, you just need to fill the coolant or whatever.
Or blower
right?
motors out.
Yeah.
But when it's like that $1,500 condenser, it's like, man, if I can find a cheaper way to go, I'm going with it.
I'm going to buy a cheaper car. Or like, having been there.
Yeah. To me, it's AC and head gasket. Once either of those goes, I'm like, I'm done with this car.
Yeah. Get rid of it. Yeah.
Hey, Scott. Oh, sorry, Charlie. Go ahead.
My
I just figured we throw it.
Yeah. Throw it to Scott.
Well, I've never had any AC problems. My white privilege usually keeps me cold enough. So don't have to worry about that.
Just me.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Scott, I got your back, bro. That's funny.
Well,
I got
Ken,
you.
You're the only one. Ken,
Yeah.
you're the only one who's allowed to laugh at that comment. So
Oh, that's true. Because if not, I'll be like Black Lives Matter on all y'all.
Yeah. And I'm like, yep.
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
Yo.
Did you now Ken, you were telling us earlier at the break you had a beat the heat story, man?
No, I don't got to beat the heat story. I'm about to take this Benadryl with alcohol I've been drinking tonight.
Ken Miller's got a beat the heartbeat story, man.
That's not Benadryl, that's ecstasy.
Yeah.
I can't sleep, B. I've been. I don't know if it's the whole. I just had a hard time sleeping during this this quarantine, man. Like I go to bed at 9, which is my normal time because I got to work at 7 in the morning. So 9 to 10 is my normal time. Dude, I'm back up at 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I can't fall asleep again till 6. And then I got to get up at 6:55 to walk to the living room.
If you're having problems sleeping, I can give you a link to the best of episodes of Real Laughs.
Yeah. That's what I recommend.
The episode with Devin.
Yeah, I recommend nobody listen to it in their car because I don't want them to crash.
Yo, son.
Hey, well, I got some.
Mike, I'm downloading that right now.
Do you if you want to watch something on TV to kind of keep, some people need to watch something, to fall asleep. I got a show. It's not new, but I found it. 60 Days In. Have you ever seen it, Ken?
Nah, what's that, bro?
It's a reality show about regular people who are undercover sent to jail. They put them in county jail for 60 days. They're like all of us. Yeah. Well, they'll give us backstories and everything, and they'll put you in jail to kind of see the system. And I fell in love with this show because jail is the best reality show ever. Because Ken, there's a dude who came in there. He was a teacher, and he literally said, "I think it's going to be like a country club. I'm going to meet a lot of friends." And 3 days into it, everybody in the pod is like, "Yo, he's police. He's police. He's police." And then they had another dude who he's a veteran, and he was in, and like 2 weeks into it, this dude's running his own commissary scam. Everybody's with him. But my favorite part of it is they have confessionals just like every other reality show. And I was on season 2 or 3, and there was this dude, Abner. He was a Puerto Rican cat, and he was locked up with the amigos, man. He was with the Mexicans. And he's locked up in there, and 30 days into it, he's like doing his confessionals. He's like, "I thought being Puerto Rican coming into these Mexicans would be a problem. But now they came to me asking me to be one of their head enforcers." And he's so proud. Like, he's so proud. And then they had this white dude, David, who comes and he's like, "I just got reached by the head council of the whites. They want me to be in charge of greeting." Yeah, he's like, "They want me to be in charge of greeting the new white inmates." He's like, "It's really yeah." And they're all proud. Like, man, I talked to Rocket yesterday, and I could really see his swastika flaring up with pride when he came to me and said I should be in charge of the pod.
What channel is this?
A&E, bro, and you can get it on Hulu.
White people channel.
Yeah,
it gotta be. Yeah, A&E is 100% white people channel.
Yeah, but they used to have their night at the Improv back in the day. And they got Muhammad Ali's daughter went undercover in the first season. Yeah,
who, Layla Ali?
Yeah. Not Layla, the oldest one.
No one recognizes her.
Yeah. Because Layla Ali, the famous one. No, like my daughter's named after Layla Ali. So,
yeah, this was definitely his first baby, the one that was just like, "Hey, you go to prison on a TV show."
Yeah. I'm gonna pitch A&E my new idea for a show. It's like a combination of 60 Days In, 90 Day Fiance, and 600-Pound Life. It's called Doing Heavy Time. It's where obese people meet in jail and go on a diet.
I'm gonna pitch my.
I want to be on that show because I like fat bitches. So, hey,
I'm gonna pitch mine.
Bleep that one, Hurley. 2 hours and 7 seconds.
Mine is gonna be called The Great Meth Cook-Off, and it's basically gonna be like a cooking show for meth cooks. And they're just gonna come. Tweakers are gonna come up and be like, for today's recipe, I use a little white phosphorus, some Tabasco sauce, and urine. And I think the judges are gonna love it. And the whole judges are just gonna be dudes from Polk County, like Ronaldo's recipe had me up for 6 days, and I was ducking the shadow police. He's definitely in the head running.
If they're still high on meth, when they're doing the drugs, they're like,
where the cameras go?
I'm gonna do a reality show where I take Scott Orbney over to Universal Studios and just videotape kids running up asking for Voldemort's autograph.
But
you got, I can't give you the
Voldemort though.
Yeah,
like him.
I got.
Okay, sorry. Excuse me, Mr. Rick Scott. Can I bother you for an autograph?
Yeah, Scoldemore.
All those kids wanting Rick Scott's autograph.
Yeah. No, seriously, Albany, you should do the Rick Scott videos, bro. I'm telling you, I think it'll blow up.
All right.
Should do it. You should totally do it.
We'll put them on Real Laughs.
Yeah, we're killing it. Hey, during the election, make your own campaign commercials. I'm Rick Scott, and I approve this message.
Son.
And damn it, if you get him reelected, so help me God.
You should definitely do the Rick Scott meet and greets for him too, because he's like, look, I don't want to get shot. How much does this Orbandy kid cost? You know?
Yo, what's the movie when Chris Rock became president?
Remember what?
Remember the good times when you could just walk in and get, morphine whenever you wanted it?
I'm Rick Scott, and I'm trying to bring back pill mills because things are weird. You should just sleep through it, Yo,
what's the movie when Chris Rock was president, head of state, and he had the guy that was his double that got shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
we're getting shot.
We're gonna have to wrap up this episode. Scott, tell them again about your site and what they can do.
Yeah, so you can reach me on social media, Facebook, Instagram. Scott Orbany at yahoo.com is my email. And we got a new website coming out. It's called Orlando City Comedy Productions. And again, we're taking top-notch, high-end, national touring headliner material types of people, and we're going to be using them to get into the
take your time,
we ain't got but a minute, bro.
Hey, check it out on our website. Charlie Bowie, where are you gonna be doing trivia?
I'll be over at World of Beer at UCF, and check out Poking the Bear.
That's what's up. I know me, Ken, and Mike, man, we just chilling, laying low till comedy comes back.
I'm actually going to check and see if my email allows emails from Yahoo's, if it's Yahoo compatible, in case Scott tries to book me. I don't want to miss it.
Yo, this dude got an MSN email address, bro.
Hey, he's at Jeeves.com. All right, guys, man, you listen to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. Remember, you can always check us out on the iHeartRadio app. Thank you, guys, and tune in tomorrow. We'll have another show for you.